Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, and thank you for tuning in for another Transfer Tuesday event. This time we're actually going to be taking a look at only one transfer. However, it is a doozy, so stay tuned. If you're sitting there wondering what I mean by Transfer Tuesday, many of you may already be familiar because I'm sure you watch other financial content here on YouTube. But a Transfer Tuesday is simply just a day of the week, namely Tuesday, where us in the financial sector here on YouTube who work to pay off our debt and build assets and work to become financially free and debt free, we share with you guys what money moves we've made, what actions we've taken to further progress our financial goals and become debt free or have financial freedom. That's really all a Transfer Tuesday is, but I like making these videos because it keeps me not only focused but accountable to YouTube, I guess, my followers, my subscribers, of how I'm doing with my financial goals and hopefully moving in the positive direction. We always want to be going towards the positive direction, whether it's a $5 change or a $5,000 change. Now, just to address the elephant in the room, to use that expression, some of you may notice that, wow, Michael, you sound very different. And that's because I have something going on with my throat. I don't know what it is, but actually, this is the best I've sounded in the last 3 days. If you asked me 3 days ago to talk, it would sound more like this. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Michael. But thankfully, most of my voice has returned, so we won't be hearing any of that strange raspiness tonight. Just a quick plug before we talk about the first and only transfer I've made today to further progress my financial goals, and I'll talk about what that is in just a second. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if watching content like this is helpful for you. I've heard from quite a few people who have left it in the comments below that watching someone else make small steps with their financial progress and goals they've set up, whether it's paying off debt, increasing their investments, increasing their savings account, whatever it may be, I've heard from quite a few people that watching content like this can be very helpful, very motivating. So if you find this at all helpful and motivating, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Anyway, let's move on from there and talk about the first transfer and the only transfer that I've made today on this particular, well, it's coming out on a Tuesday, but of course I make these videos on Monday. And the only transfer that I've made, but it's a nice, big, thick transfer, and that is transferring $1,500 from my regular bank account and transferring it to my high interest savings account. Now, why do I do that? I do it for the purpose of saving up payments for my government student loans once they become due. So I don't need to go into all the details because it by now is kind of ancient history, but government student loans are in forbearance, and what I'm doing is I'm saving payments instead of actively paying off the loans, because should they someday become forgiven, or if they never even become due again or don't become due for another 10 years, I would rather have the money be gaining interest for me rather than just paying off the debt, which may or may not ever be due. So that's why I put it in a high interest savings account, and savings accounts, their interest has actually continued to go up while the government student loans interest has stayed at zero for now over a year. Now, the next thing I would like to kind of transition over to doing, because I have not done this in quite a few Transfer Tuesday videos, is actually share with you guys my student loan debt progress and the spreadsheet that I use to track my progress, because I think it's a helpful visual reference to show you guys where I'm at. It's also very helpful for me because I like punching in these new numbers, which means that I'll usually be progressing and getting even closer to my goal. So let's go ahead and take a look at my student loan debt payoff spreadsheet. Okay, so just to give a little bit of a refresher before we start punching in some new numbers into this spreadsheet, I have here up on the screen, hopefully you guys can see it, this pie graph, and I like to usually first start off with looking at the pie graph to see where I'm at. As far as I know, these numbers are accurate according to my last Transfer Tuesday, where in the first Transfer Tuesday of this month, I was able to transfer $1,000 towards my Ally Savings Bank. So this graph, this pie graph right here, is accurate up to those numbers. At that time, I think I had $26,000 saved up to go towards my government student loans. They're not officially paid towards those yet. They're just sitting in a savings account. But you guys can see I am now over the halfway mark. I'm at 57% of being, I guess, debt-free in my student loans, and 43% left with my student loans. However, that 43% is actually going bye-bye really quickly if I am able to maintain this $3,000 every month going forward. I did that since last April of 2022, and if I can keep up that pace, which I'm really hoping to be able to, this debt will be gone in no time. Well, it'll feel like no time. Anyway, let's now shift over and start taking a look at the numbers here on this chart, this spreadsheet here. Just to give a tiny review, Sallie Mae loans 1 and 2 are done with. I paid those off in April of last year, and all we have left is government loan 1 and 2. I don't know what their interest rates are because the loans have been in forbearance for so long that I can't go back and look at the numbers. And as far as I know, there really isn't a way to figure that out yet. I think it was like maybe 4.5% interest on both of those, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. I've had people ask me, and I don't know the answer to that, and I'm unaware of how to find the answer. The other thing is that these are the outstanding debts for both of those loans. However, right now, because I'm not actively paying on them, I typically just look at this number, the $71,407.15. And that's the number, that's the goal that I'm looking to save up these payments for. That's why I'm making these Transfer Tuesdays and these transfers to this high interest savings account to hopefully reach $71,000. Or hopefully maybe some of it will be forgiven and then it'll be a shorter journey. But to move down towards the gray portion of the graph, I started making these type of contributions back in April of 2022. You can see 3,000, 3,000, 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. You get the idea, all the way up until December, where I had a little bit of a hiccup. I talked about that, I think, 2 videos ago in a Transfer Tuesday video about that hiccup. Actually, I think it might have been a budgeting video that I talked about kind of the issue that came up of why I wasn't able to put another $2,000. So I'm not going to go into that whole story again. And then January comes around, and I do have an update to give here. I'll probably give this in another Budget With Me video update as well. But in my last Transfer Tuesday video, I already mentioned I was able to contribute $1,000. Well, I had an issue where my mortgage bank took out 2 payments this month. So they took out a payment of $1,041 and $1,059. So yeah, a lot more than I had actually anticipated paying on my mortgage this month. So I called them up, and basically what they're able to do is just count that extra payment towards next month. So February, I'm not going to have a mortgage payment deducted. So what I'm planning to do, because I know I won't have another $1,041 come out of my bank account next month for mortgage, this month my plan, as you guys have seen and as I've talked about, is to just go for that $3,000. So let's now punch in. We're not at $3,000 yet, but we are at, with today's contribution, we are at $500. So that's not bad. That's a good, $1,500 added to this month, and rounding out the month, hopefully by the end of it, I'll be able to put another $500, getting it up to $3,000 of total contribution towards my Ally Savings Bank, to eventually put towards my government student loans. You guys can see this thing does the math for me. So that would leave me with an outstanding balance of $43,907.15 if I were to take this now $27,500 and put it towards my government student loans. I don't intend on doing that yet until I absolutely know it's going to be due. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I've talked to some other people, and They've asked me why I'm doing it this way, and not taking this $27,500 and potentially investing it either in the stock market or putting it towards like some type of rental income. And I don't really have much of an answer other than there's multiple right choices to make. But this option, what I'm doing now, this plan I'm trying to stick with, it seems smart. So it's not like this is a dumb thing to do. It seems smart because I'm gaining interest on these saved payments. And it also seems safe. And I'm very risk adverse. So because this seems safe, I like to take this road. However, if something does come up that is a surefire way to use this money, then I know I will get it back quickly, and I know the loans won't become due, then maybe we can reconsider. But right now, this is the plan moving forward, to continue to put $3,000 towards this save payments each month. I'm just going to kind of slide the graph down now to look at where we are at on the total student debt by month chart. This is basically just tracking where I'm at. We just talked about what this number is though, so I gotta kind of mess this up. I'm sorry guys if this is not looking right on your screen, but I need to fix this. There we go. And then we'll pull this down. And there. It says I've placed $2,500 towards it this month. And this number, I think that's now right. Yeah. So sorry for the delay there, but total change since starting this journey back at $140,000, not the 104 you see at the top of this. I started this journey with $140,000 of student loan debt, which I know is crazy. I have made a total positive change of $96,092.85 towards that amount of money. So I'm pretty pleased with that amount of progress I've made. I still have a little bit of a ways to go before I'm at zero, or I'm at my goal of saving up $71,000, but a lot can happen in that time from now. So wish me luck and stay tuned for the next video on this channel, which is going to be a net worth update. The only reason I didn't post a net worth update today is because at the beginning of the year, my company transferred our 401k plans from T. Rowe Price to Charles Schwab, and there's a whole kind of process I have to go through to be able to access my account. So I wouldn't have been able to give my 401k numbers, and I would really like to share with you guys where that's at, because it's been like 4 months since I've shared my net worth update, and I would really like to be accurate as possible with my numbers. But until then, go and check out this playlist right here, and you guys can see how I've been doing with paying off all my student loans. Take care.